Welcome everybody to Trades of the Week with myself, Marcus de Maria, and my head trader, Dennis Sahlström, where we are going to be discussing some very, very, very interesting themes today. So for example, what is happening overall in the markets with the new Joe Biden administration? Also, we have got one hell of a mining company for you to look at. I'll tell you what, the volatility is absolutely fantastic. Great fundamentals, so you'll really love that one. And of course, we had to mention cryptocurrencies. What is Elon Musk doing? It looks like a tweet can just move the market. So that's a strategy all by itself that we've been looking at. And also, are we getting into the number 2 market cap in cryptocurrencies or the 2 killers of that app? You're going to want to know about all 3 of those in this week's update. So let's get started. So Dennis, let's see whether we made money since last week. Okay, the first one, Agios Pharmaceuticals. We were doing a short there, as far as I remember. We were in a little loss, hoping for it to come back down. What happened, Dennis?
Yes, so it went up and took us out on a stop loss. So we had a 1% loss.
We were selling short, hoping to make money going down. Instead, it went up, therefore, and we had a nice stop loss there, meaning that we only risked 1% of our portfolio. Not a good start. Let's see what's next.
Hopefully we can get better. So Edit was another one we looked at.
Editas, yes, very good. So we were down quite a lot, and that's why we were quite, quite optimistic about this one. And what happened?
And it went up. So now we're up 10% so far on this VCA. So not bad. Good start.
Yep, little start there. Not too bad. All right, let's see what else. Upfolio. Okay, so this one here, much more of a buffalo here. So looking to get in, and I can't remember whether we were already in with a little, and then we were kind of in a semi break-even loss situation.
Yeah, I was in a couple of weeks ago even, but it was another chance to get in here, right? Because it was down at the support again. So if you did take the opportunity and did your research, you would be a bit in profit at the moment.
Okay, so not too much, but maybe 7% or something like that. You got a little bit in profit there, not too bad. Okay, what else?
Nice, though. And then ARCT.
Arcturus. All right. Well, we got this one when it was at minus 53. I mean, it's kind of difficult not to make money at that stage. Yep, we're up 34% there.
So far, but since last week, it's gone up a little bit more. So we're up 40% now.
Very good.
Could move the stop loss a little bit and put it in so you're locking in a little bit of profit.
I mean, at 40%, I think it would be, we've already raised the stop loss once, I think. But now that it's gone up so much, the problem is that the last stop loss here and where it is now is quite a lot. We're talking about over 10%. So I would move the stop loss up personally.
Yeah, I would like it to break a little bit higher here and then move it underneath this trough here, just to break that consolidation. But we'll see what happens.
That would be perfect. I will speak to Arcturus and let it know. Okay, next Pfizer. Okay, so we'd gotten in at minus 15%. And we were in a loss situation on this one here. Let's have a look. If it goes down, we go in again. Okay, it went down to minus 20, but because we get on at minus 15, we would have wanted to get in at minus 25 again to get our average price down. By the way, normally on these kind of stocks, we would get in at minus 20 for the very first time. So if for whatever reason you haven't gotten in yet, we're in a loss situation, you could get in, do your own research, at a lower point than we got in. What do you think?
Absolutely. No, I think this is perfect.
But let me tell you why it's not perfect. See, he fell into my trap that I laid out for him. Because look, Pfizer, the vaccine, I mean, it's a good company, right?
Yeah.
But the vaccine that it has done, amazing, but it has to be held at minus 70% degrees. How many facilities can actually manage that? I think some of the other vaccines are going to be much more literally user-friendly.
Yeah, and they are, right? There are a lot of questions about the vaccines, obviously. But I think as a company, it's a great company to get into. Could be because the vaccine is not as good that it's fallen down 20% now. So we'll see, but I think it's a solid investment.
And by the way, we need volatility. I don't want anybody saying, oh, it's fallen. That's most people out there. Oh, it's fallen 20%. Well, yeah, that's what the stock market does, which allows us to get in and then go back up, which allows us to make a profit. So repeat after me, volatility is good.
Volatility is good.
Oh, very good, very good. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Very good. Okay, next.
Okay, so next up is Twitter. So we had the 1% loss prior.
Yeah. We had a 1% loss?
In Agio, but just to eat.
We were massively in profit there.
In this one. So it doesn't matter with the 1% losses. That's the point. And let's see what happens here. So now it continued up instead.
Wow, look at that.
So the importance of let your profits run as well.
Okay, so for me, I know you could move your stop loss up because it could break out. But for me personally, when I'm at the top of a range, it is time to take that profit because the likelihood is it's just going to come back down again. As everybody does the same, which is profit taking. Obviously, as you can see over here, sometimes it does carry on quite a bit before coming back down. But for me, in all probability, it is going to start coming back down. And so therefore, it is time to really move your stop loss right underneath it and get out as soon as that move happens.
Yeah, and we have the earnings coming up today, actually. So depending when you're watching this, so that might be last earnings. It did get quite a drop, right? So we want to avoid that.
Yeah, so we had one loss, but here you go. There's a 3 and a little bit gain, so that makes up for that loss and more. Okay, what else do we have?
Yeah, so next up is
the GameStop,
your
the
favorite
institution.
company.
Well, it's just that the institutions, you know, were short selling this one here, meaning that there were more shorts actually than there were stocks in existence, and people on Reddit, they got together hundreds of thousands of them and pushed their way up to give the institutions a bloody nose, which they did because one of the institutions had to be bailed out to the tunes of several millions, and then it just went up like crazy. I mean, if you look at the price, it was at around, I don't know, $20 or something, it looks like.
Less than that.
Well, less than that even, and then went up to like $450. Holy moly, that's why they lost some money. But you've got to understand, they were telling everybody to get in, they were getting in here, and people were buying along here, otherwise this wouldn't have, you know, gone up like this, even though you see the red candles here, which means that in the end, I'm sorry to say, the institutions will win. Maybe not the one that had to be bailed out, but the others at around here started selling short, and you know everybody gets in. But if you got in here, if you get in here, well, isn't this your famous Eiffel Tower?
Yeah, exactly.
Formation?
So we spoke about the Eiffel Tower formation last time.
You heard it here first.
And obviously it played out. So you have here the Eiffel Tower.
Obviously.
And now it's completed the pattern. So it goes all the way up and then all the way down again.
My goodness, it actually does look like it. So no, but it didn't just go down. It then went sideways. So it really did go like that.
Creating the good
So all the people that bought up here, bless them, they lost money.
Yeah, so that's the importance of using a strategy. What was the strategy they used, right? So you need to use, not just pile in.
That was herd mentality. FOMO. Everybody goes, total fear of missing out, total, herd getting slaughtered, unfortunately.
Yeah, and we have a couple of cryptos. Let's just walk through them fast. We had Engine Coin. We spoke about it with the Japanese regulators.
Yes, we got in minus 25, waiting for it to come back down to minus 35. It didn't, but we're up 10% on that trade, so that's good.
Yeah, and then next is Ethereum. Obviously, you said if it broke out, it was going to.
No, I didn't say if it broke out. I said if it closed. Yeah. That was the important distinction. So thank you for that, because it closed above 1,400. Then it would go all the way to 2,000. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, so we're getting there.
It did close, yeah.
Up to 1,800 now, so we're very close to 2,000. So it's up 30% if you took that.
Very good. Yeah, not bad. 30% is not bad at all. Obviously, we say 30%, but that's 30% from the high from 2017. But actually, it's gone up 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800%. Since those lows, so we mustn't forget that.
Exactly. And then next up, last but not least, Litecoin was down 24%. So you actually had an opportunity to get in there, and since that time, plus 21%.
Yeah, very good. Now watch out, because as it reaches this, it's likely to get some resistance and come back down, unless it closes above it. If it closes above it, then, I mean, literally, who knows, because I can't see the chart, but it could go to that next level, whatever that is, if there is a next level. I don't even know. We'll have to have a look at that. So that's it. We did quite well, and I hope you did too. What's been happening in the markets? Well, it looks all very bullish, which is amazing considering that we've been in a bull market since 2009. It is the longest bull market since the history of the stock market by far, or at least modern day stock market. So it's all looking very, very bullish. Look, the Democrats are set to introduce a $3,000 a child tax credit. So the Senate last week approved a budget package, another stimulus. So it's all going ahead. So don't you wish that you would have had more children now? No, actually 2 is enough.
And they also said, there's going to be another 1.9 trillion. It's going to come more and more money. And I don't know how much they can print. But one thing on the flip side I read in that in UK, in London, 40 of the biggest and most kind of established restaurants have closed down during COVID, right? So they said actually 4 companies, this year has been as bad as the Great Depression for companies. And how can we have an kind of excelling economy when this is the reality?
Well,
it's just,
I can tell you why. It's called the stimulus package, and that unfortunately is flowing into institutions who are then actually putting it into something which grows, into assets. So instead of doing this, I think is right? I don't know about this tax credit, but what they should, in my opinion, just do is send to every single one of us money, because we will then spend that money, and then that will stimulate the economy. That's the way to do it. But I'm not a politician. I would be a terrible politician. What else? Look, the rollout of the vaccines is working extremely well. So therefore, people are optimistic, and therefore they think that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Therefore, do expect more bullish momentum in the short term, I would say. And so let's have a look at some stocks to take advantage of that. First one, PKI. As you can see here, a nice vertically rising, boing, 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 boing. And remember, boing is the technical phrase for this. We can get in here with a nice risk-reward ratio. That's looking quite nice. We should be in this one, Dennis?
Yeah, we are in this. So if you're looking to do it, you could wait a little bit for a pullback here before getting in.
Well, no, because we're in, and it's actually lower than our buy price. So do your own research on this stock. But if you agree with it, you could actually get in at a lower price than we actually got, which is amazing.
It's a little bit above there. Yeah, exactly. So you could get in around the same price.
I see what you mean. We went on this one here, not this one here.
Exactly.
You need to wait for a little pullback, please.
Yeah,
make sure that it just comes back a little bit.
But I think we will get that. It looks like we could dip down there again, so get your orders ready, I would say.
Okay.
And then next up is Apple as well. Apple would be an amazing one to trade because it's such a good company.
It's so high, Dennis. It's so high. Look at this. Look at this.
I agree.
Yeah, it is very high. Look, we definitely need this to drop a little bit. Never chase the price. Yes, Apple, amazing. Actually, there was some news about people think that Apple should now be offering cryptocurrencies, but that's not from Apple, so we will see. We will come on to that a little bit later on the show, because wow, what has Elon Musk been doing? He says something and the markets react. He has a lot of power, and that's quite interesting, because you could have done the same with Trump right at the beginning, when he tweeted something and it was positive, buy. When it was negative, some people use that as a strategy. The Elon Musk effect, I think, is going to be a little bit like that as well. So it's worth watching what he says. But we'll cover that a little bit later. So here on Apple, it does need to fall, and I need a very, very nice tight stop loss on this one, because I can see resistance there, and it is vertically rising. Boing, 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 yes, and getting in on the next boing, which is absolutely fantastic. Do we have any shorts as well? Although it is more bullish momentum, but let's have a look at some shorts.
Yeah, we actually have a long one as well that is ready now, which is Costco. So this is one, it looks bullish to me, and they have a good stop loss, a good risk-reward ratio on it as well. And I mean, this is a giant company as well. So this could be a solid investment, I must say.
Do they do delivery then? How come they're doing so well?
Yeah, they do delivery as well. Okay. There's a lot of businesses using them at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, so absolutely. That's got a nice risk-reward ratio, not even to the top of that thing there. So that's a really nice one. Make sure you use the stop loss. You can see where it is, always at the lowest point in that particular area. So we got 3 potentials, 2 ready to go. What about some shorts?
Yeah, because the market is very bullish, and who knows, right? Because we have seen mutations of the coronavirus, and what if the vaccines all of a sudden is not working as well? That's going to have a different effect on the economy. The same with all the closures and bankruptcies we're seeing. So we need to be prepared for both scenarios. So bandwidth is the first one. So it looks interesting. It's at the resistance now. I want this shorter term upward trending line to be broken, and that's going to trigger us into the trade, as well as showing us some bearish momentum.
So you wouldn't just get in at 1% below here. You actually want it to break that line, yeah?
Yeah, that would
close below it.
It would. That's ideal to close below it, but then it might be too late because if we get a big candle, then we miss the trade. So I usually put the trade on. So when it breaks the line, I hope that it closes above, below as well. But that's a little bit more aggressive approach. You could wait for the closure, but then you might miss the opportunity.
Okay, so you need to watch this one. Not just place an order on this one. And then we have one more?
Yeah, we do have one more. So actually last week we did look at AMT. And the thing with AMT was we had a big candle, and some people have been rushing in, but we wanted to wait for a smaller candle to get a big better risk-reward ratio. So what happened was that we did get that. So we had this candle, we had the big green one, but now you see we got some smaller candles. And we're in this on the candle from yesterday.
Oh yeah, that one definitely took us in there.
Yeah.
So if you were thinking, and you've done your own research, you're thinking about getting into this one, you could get in at a better price than us, selling short at a higher price, which of course would be much better for you. So we've got some good ones going up. We're expecting some bullish momentum over the next few days, maybe even longer. But we've got some shorts there just in case. Always be hedged. Never put all your eggs into one direction. All right. So let's look at the next section. This week, we're going to revisit a company that we have seen before. It is in the silver mining sphere. What does that mean? Silver, safe. The more printing there's going on, likelihood is silver has bullish momentum. Of course, silver very manipulated by the institutions on the way down. However, if you want a little bit more volatility, then it would be a mining company. Which one have you got for us here, Dennis?
We have Pan American Silver Corp. It is a very good silver company, great fundamentals, which we could have a look at in the moment, which means that they're making good money, the earnings looks good, they have low debt, so the health of the company looks good. But
we actually looked at this one last time, didn't we?
We did look at this. This is from last time, to be honest. So we have looked at this for a couple of weeks, and it's just so volatile. We looked at it here. We got in down here at minus 24, and then we had profit at plus 21%, and then now it's fallen down again.
And by the way, that just took days. I mean, we weren't expecting that, okay? But like, it's funny because you can label yourself a trader or an investor, but in actual fact, if you're an investor and something just shoots up, let's have a look at that chart again. You know, if something just shoots up like that, you can be an investor all you like. You need to take your profit. You need to take some profit, at least some of it. But you know, just look at the chart to see what is happening there. And then since that time, what has happened? 1 week, boom, it's come all the way back down. That's why you need to take profits. When you see resistance coming up, if you see a ceiling, you do need it, whether you're an investor or not. That's why we call it active investing. You need to look at it I think on a daily basis.
Yes, who doesn't have 20 minutes a day? When you're in the toilet, but you know, in the bathroom, right?
It
You
takes
could do
20
it there.
minutes?
Well, you could, but even you can check on your phone, look at the graphs. Like, you use your time wisely, and this, by the way, is where a strategy comes very handy. So the VCA or the Buffalo strategy, and I really like what you say, Marcus, because you do say that it doesn't really matter. You can have the best strategy in the world, but you need to have rules for when you how you manage your risk, and also for how you take profit, and then you could make money with almost any strategy, which is I think that's a great point, because and the same here, you need to know where to sell. A lot of people say that, you know, I know when I'm going to sell. I know when it's gone up enough, I'm going to sell. When is that time? Because when it's up there, well, it's going to go up higher, and then so you need to have the rules written down.
Something tells me that we're going to have this discussion when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Right?
When
are we actually going to get
so
out? People are asking us. Okay, so on this one here, instead of waiting for it to come all the way back down to that line, and I know it looks like a buffalo, but on this one here, you don't need to put a stop loss in it. It's a very solid company, and therefore, by the way, I shouldn't have said that. It's more about we won't. You know, you have to make your own decisions, but we won't because it's such a solid company. And then if it goes down, we would just buy some more to lower our average cost. But we've decided this time to actually get in at, doing a VCA on a minus 20. And it's actually, you're in this, right? It's actually gone up a little bit already.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why, right? Because you know the GameStop story, we talked about it before, but next target might be silver. We spoke about that a little bit last time as well. So that's why we want to get in at a 20% drop here, because if they succeed, silver might be soaring and going up a lot, which will affect the mining companies as well. So, but even though market says you can enter this at the 20, you don't need to wait for the support. Well, we do enter it as a VCA. We don't enter it as a buffalo, because every time we're trading and using the buffalo, we do have a stop loss. So we're not changing the recipe. We are using the VCA, which says, get in at the minus 20% the first time.
Yeah. So we just changed strategies. We didn't start adapting the rules of any strategy. So let's see. Look, either way, I'd prefer for it to go down. And the reason is because I want to get in again in order to, then we're invested twice, aren't we? If it just goes straight up, then we've only invested once. That's fine if you're doing a buffalo, because you would have, for every 1% gain, you're actually making that. But on this one here, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But silver company is absolutely something to look out for, and this is absolutely one of the better ones that we've found.
Okay, very good. Please do your own research, and let's see what is next. Wow, the markets have officially gone crazy in cryptocurrencies. And part of the reason was, apart from the fact that Bitcoin closed above its all-time high again, which means, if it closed above 41,000, the next range, I think, is going to be just below 50,000. But there's another reason. The other reason is that this gentleman here, Elon Musk, now, he's been moving markets here, Dennis. So a few days, weeks ago, all he wrote was Dogecoin, and then this happened. Let's have a look at Doge quickly.
Yeah, can I look at that first?
Wow, look at that. It just absolutely shot up as soon as he did. If you have a look at that, it's like from its lows, and we're not talking a long time here. Is this the daily?
This is the daily. Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8,
It's beginning of 2021.
2 weeks ago. Oh yeah, that would have been the other way of doing it. It's up 1,500%. Remember that Dogecoin is actually just like Bitcoin. They use the open source, and it was a bit of a joke apparently when it started. It's unlimited supply though, so it's not like Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin 21 million, that's it. Here, unlimited supply. So for me, yes, I missed out on this, but I'm sure you got it.
No, I missed out on this as well.
Damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then what did Elon Musk do? A couple of days later, he actually just tweeted Bitcoin. That's it. That's all he said. The markets went ballistic. Let's have a look.
You can see he put in 1.5 billion in Bitcoin even.
I was just about to say that.
And I think that's really
You've
funny,
given it
actually.
away now. All right. So basically, that pushed it all the way up, and not surprising why he did it. It's because he bought, Tesla bought $1.5 billion worth. And if you imagine a big order like that going in, that's what pushed everything up.
But isn't it interesting that they're talking about Dogecoin, but they're not investing in Dogecoin? Now they invest in Bitcoin instead. I find that fairly interesting, I must say.
That is a good point. Why did he say Dogecoin?
I think they like it for some reason. They just created a thing about it.
Snoop Dogg is now doing it. It is quite cool. And I tell you what, it's also bringing awareness now, even more, if this wasn't enough, with Elon Musk and Visa starting to offer it now, or saying that they're going to offer it, etc.
Apple, they're now discussing Apple a little bit, even though it's not Apple per se, but I think, it's
people are talking
closer.
about it.
They're talking about it.
Let's talk about Ethereum, though. Let's talk about Ethereum, because it's really interesting that, the funds are probably going to get into, and the companies are going. The Michael Saylor, by the way, we should mention that. I think it was the 4th and the 5th. He had a conference, 7,000 companies in America tuned in for that to see how did Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy, and why and how did he put in so much money. They put in over $1 billion, and 600 million of those wasn't even theirs. They went into the markets and got some debt to put in. They've made over $1 billion profit. More now.
Really
more.
Playing the game to win.
Play the game to win in his own terms. But the number 2 they're going to get into, of course, is Ethereum, the second largest. And Fundstrats here says it could climb more than 7-fold to 10,500. And here's why. Let's have a look at the chart, though.
Yeah. And one thing to mention there, right, is, well, you could say that is it too high to get into now? It's currently sitting around $1,766. But use a strategy, right? There will be plenty of opportunities to get in. It's not going to go, well, even if it could, but go to 10,000 a day or two.
Well, the next price, like I said, if it closed above, would be just below 2,000. That's where I'm thinking about taking some profit. So it's the most used blockchain when it comes to decentralized applications. DeFi, the decentralized finance are mostly on Ethereum. It says here its upgrade can make it as fast as Visa and MasterCard. I mean, they're doing like 35,000 transaction per, is it minute or second?
Second.
Per second. Holy moly.
I think it's per second. Yeah.
Ethereum isn't anywhere near that.
No, not at all. Not now, but who knows? Proof of stake is a lot more efficient.
Yeah, but
Maybe
can. I mean, if it takes years and years and years.
could
I'm not
do,
sure
right?
about that. Also, they're saying that Ethereum futures are launching.
Yes, on the CME. CME are launching them, and that's a big thing as well.
More liquidity, etc. But the last time that happened on Bitcoin, it actually drove the price of Bitcoin down because it allows institutions to sell it short.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about all of these, but I'm very bullish. I mean, that's my second largest position. Buy Ethereum, but where? Yeah, definitely on pullbacks. Don't just get in at recent highs. Although there is a strategy called the higher strategy, or the 52-week strategy, which is always, every time it breaks out of an all-time high, that is a bullish sign. Me personally, I like pullbacks.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else can we talk about? What about some Ethereum killers, since we're talking about how great Ethereum is? What about Polkadot? What about Cardano? We do love Cardano.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, right, that Ethereum, even though it's amazing, it cannot do everything on its own, right? It's a blockchain, it's here to stay. I think we can agree on that. But Cardano and also Polkadot, if we start with Cardano, they're doing some very interesting things now and really gaining more traction.
Remember that Cardano, they're the ones that are just going slowly, very slowly. They've been criticized for that, but they're doing it methodologically, releasing it. It's a great product. Remember, I always get his name wrong, Dr. Professor something Hoskins.
Hoskins. Charles.
Yeah. Charles, that's right. He was one of the original founders of Ethereum. So he knows what he's talking about.
And what I do like,
chart,
yeah, we can look at it here. So it's created an all-time high. I would wait for a 25% drop just because it's gone up so much. I know you might be looking for 20%.
I'm looking for 20% because I think that Cardano is now getting more established. So I'm adding it to my more established coins, so about minus 20%. The small cap ones that are maybe outside of the top 10 or so, yeah, definitely I would get in at minus 25, then again at minus 50.
Yeah.
But I think Cardano, yeah, I'm bullish on Cardano.
Yeah, but both Cardano and Polkadot are flirting with, I think even Cardano surpassed the XRP for the first time, the market capitalization. Yeah. So people are really getting into it. And what I like about Cardano is that usually they have upgrades, right? They create these forks, but upgrades. Now with Bitcoin, it's always a problem because the programmers have different views on everything. So they created Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, etc., etc.
That's a hard fork.
That's a hard fork. But with Cardano, the programmers has all the time been very, they've been kind of together and everything. So they haven't created a hard fork. They've just made the upgrades, making the upgrades. So they're very, like you said, they're making it slowly.
Why are they making the upgrades? Why isn't it an upgrade?
Could be upgrades. Yeah, okay. That's true. It's upgrades. Okay, fine. Yeah, but I like Cardano as well. Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, very good. So let's have a look at Polkadot then.
Looks very similar to the Cardano chart. Also got a lot of traction. A little bit more involved in DeFi, I would say. And a lot of projects that we're speaking to now as well are actually using Polkadot to build their projects. So I think they're trying to create... they're trying to create a lot, right? They're creating a launch pad such as the same that Binance have, like a launch pad where they can launch projects. They're doing the same thing, so they have a lot of very interesting updates that is happening as well.
All right, so but make sure that you do diversify, that you're not just in Bitcoin, definitely, and that you're not just in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Make sure that you do look at these, do your own research, wait for the pullback, start building a position. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see where this takes us. We are in a bull market here, and this could be very interesting. Hold on to your seatbelts.
Yes, but last but not least, how do you take profit, Marcus? How would we take profit on this?
Ooh, let's talk about that next week. No, let's talk about that now.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a cliffhanger, but look, you've got to have certain, for me, it's levels. So, for example, any round number. Bitcoin is now coming up to a very big round number, which is 50,000. To me, people are going to be selling at that point. So I'm going to get out, not out, but I'm going to start taking some profits at around 49,500, something like that, or 49,470.
Yeah, because I think where a lot of people go wrong is they have the everything or nothing mentality. So they either sell their house and put everything in at one price. That's everything. And then when they sell, they take everything out. And then if it continues to go up, they go, wow, why did I sell? But that's why we feather in, but we also feather out. So when it goes up, we take partial profits. I mean, I'm getting tired of taking profits, I must say. Not really, it's fun, but still, right? Yes, okay, profit, okay, it went up more, okay, more profit, and then we wait for it to fall down.
Another way of saying that, by the way, is milking the cow. So we're going to do a milking the cow together. Ready? On three.
Moo. What do you mean on three? That 1, 2, 3. I was not prepared.
All right, very good. So, well, why don't we go through that a little bit more next week?
Yeah, so absolutely. We'll dig a little bit deeper into taking profits next week so you can really apply that strategy as well.
Very good. So make sure that you subscribe, and we'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed the trades of the week, and please do comment below. Do you think in the short term it is looking bullish in the markets? What do you think about the silver miner? Are you looking to get into this one in order to diversify your portfolio? And holy moly, are you in cryptos? Right below, how are you doing? Are you making profits? Have you missed it? Are you looking to get in and build a position? And if you are, what do you think? Ethereum? Or do you think Cardano or even Polkadot, the Ethereum killer? There's lots and lots to talk about. Make sure that you comment below now. Also, if you like this video, give it a like, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button. Please do it now, because next week we're going to be talking about exit strategies, and you're going to want to know about that, especially when it comes to cryptocurrencies. It's racing up. You know, when you're 100, 200% in profit, you need to know what to do. So go ahead, please, and subscribe below.